Hey guys, it's Monique here. In regards to discussion week 1, I was never a fan of comic books growing up or reading comics in newspapers. So really I was introduced to comics in English 151, which I had a professor that relied heavily on graphic novels. We read books like Hamlet, V for Vendetta, just a lot of higher education books and plays. And they just made a lot more sense to me seeing it in graphic novel form. The strips were organized in such a way that they were easier to understand than the text for me. It's actually crazy how much more pictures and images can portray than text can say alone. My first thought looking at this Eleanor Roosevelt comic strip was of equal rights and how gay marriage became legalized in 2015. What a time to be alive and see one of the biggest laws be passed in our government. This comic, to me, shows the backlash of our country by the community that doesn't support same-sex marriage, and Barack Obama pushing to legalize such a thing. It took real courage to do so without knowing how our nation would react to change. As Nicole also said, this comic led me to think about our future as educators. There is much pressure to teach to the standards, but also to teach to the test once students are in a higher grade level for standardized testing. It reflects our teaching skills, whether students do well or not, and it puts our jobs at stakes, whether they do well or not. This can draw a fear for the common teacher, but our courage must subside the fear. We must take what we learn in these college courses now and apply the changes in our classroom. Taking manipulatives in math, for example. Of course, as new teachers, we're going to come across teachers, tenured teachers, that don't want change in what they're doing in classrooms because they see it as it's working. We must keep what we're taught now, and maybe someday we can reform the education system into something better. In other words, courage is more exhilarating than fear.